Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for another installment of A-Listers. I'm happy that you're here with me. I really appreciate when you come in every Wednesday, Sunday. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central is where you'll find me, usually here doing an A-Lister show. This show is a little bit about reselling, a lot about motivation, a lot about getting us to do things that we don't like to do. And even though we thought we liked to do it, and we start off really gung-ho when we pursue something, and that is reselling. That is listing our things on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, everywhere that we can find the consumer. That's what we're all hunting for. We're all searching for that elusive consumer and what he wants and what we can do. Oh, thank you so much. This is the necklace that I found in, I think it was the Chicago jar, if I'm not mistaken. I really like it. No, I think I bought this one. Gosh, I don't remember, because I did buy an abalone as well. But thank you, Amanda, and thanks for being here. I found this one at the counter in Chicago, and I really, really like it. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, is being able to embrace the changes that come inevitably in selling in retail, whether you're in retail sales. I have a very close friend that is in retail sales and still thriving in retail sales. So we always have conversations about the differences between direct retail sale and the similarities as well, because there are both. There are definitely, things that we can borrow from each other. But anyway, if you are new to the channel, I will speak to the chat in just a minute. Thank you guys so much. Be sure and hit that thumbs up when you walk in. I want to thank you for being here on the A-Lister Show. I do a lot of different videos here on this channel. I do thrift hauls. I do jewelry hauls. I do lots of jewelry and jarrings. I love hunting for jewelry in the jewelry jars and jewelry bags that we get from thrift stores and Goodwill and everywhere. And so that's what you'll find here. I hope you subscribed today. I hope you took the time to hit the thumbs up when you walked in the door. If not, please do it before you leave. But again, the theme today is going to be about change, embracing it. And that comes from our attitude. Our very first thing that we encounter when we rise in the morning, when we, whether or not we're the type that needs an alarm. I know people who don't need an alarm. My husband is one. He's always embraced the day and seizes the day. And I admire that about him a lot. And anybody who has that get up and go attitude, no matter what happens in your life, and we all have things happening in our lives. We have tragedies, we have setbacks. And some people will crawl back in that bed and feel sorry for themselves, have a pity party. Hey, I'm all with you on the pity party. Believe me, have it. Have your pity party for 10 or 20 minutes if that's what you need. But don't let it encompass your entire day. And then pretty soon it encompasses your entire life. They say that people that haven't, when you face the inevitable as a employed person, when you face the inevitable of being unemployed, they say that if you haven't found a job within the first 6 to 8 months, chances are you will not for a while, at least another year or two. So it really is important that you don't let that bring you down, because all of that, for some reason, it's an average of the majority, is because the attitude is clouded. Everyone hates me. No one's going to hire me. And the same thing can happen when we start listing and we don't wake up with a much better attitude of, wow, look what I have to list. Let's get this done. Instead of, oh, I haven't sold anything in a week, or so forth and so on. No one's going to buy anything. The market is saturated. Everyone's selling clothes. Everyone's selling jewelry. Everyone's selling glassware. We can come up with those excuses all day long, and they will get us and they will cloud us for sure. Let me say hello to a couple of people, and we'll continue. Too much water in my cup. Let me see who joined us. Thank you guys so much. Okay, I did say hello to Amanda. Vanessa, how are you? Happy Sunday. Jennifer as well. Jennifer Hayes, and Jude is here as well. Yeah, so it's really important that we wake up with a much better attitude. I was definitely going to talk about change, but I was taken to this subject by some of the people that I interviewed in my summer series chat. I'm having such a wonderful time talking to the people that I've had on, and I hope to have more. Very, uh, very much so that in the realm of how different they all are and how they all came to resell in a certain way and in a certain drive. Uh, for example, the last guest we had, Pearl is Precious, she came to the from a hobby. She just loved jewelry, loved making it. But someone, nudged her and said, You're pretty good at this stuff. You should sell your stuff. And she found a little niche, a little place to sell her things. She loved doing that jewelry, but she realized that she should have a backup. And that's what she called it. She called it a backup store. And her backup store was the vintage items. And then she decided, or she saw, data driven there, that it was a much better profitability in her vintage items and in her glassware. She wasn't afraid to say, hey, that didn't work out originally. It's still what I like to do. I still have that other store there and all of that. So, but she was able to make that little pivot to something that was profitable yet still fun. She still had, an interest in the vintage items. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Same thing when we had Yvonne as well from Thrifty Rich. She is not depressed about the fact that everyone sells clothing. She finds a niche. She finds something else that she thinks will move her items, different and unique items. I've been in the same position. I was just telling my sister, I have designer clothing, some designer clothing in my garage, but it is flooded with other clothing that has just been stagnant for me. Maybe I should rethink about re-photographing it, repricing it. But actually what I'm thinking about is that it's gotten shelf wear and it's gotten old and the styles are even changing on me. The trends, what was really trendy maybe a year, maybe a few months ago, the Guess resurgence, the Tommy Hilfiger resurgence, that's done. If you don't catch it when it's hot, it's done. And I'm still sitting on it. So I have to constantly be re-looking at my things, re-looking at my ideas of what I think will sell, and yet not be afraid to say, hey, it's not selling. Let's go clean it up. Let's get it out of here. Platforms, same thing. Go where the consumer is. The consumers are still on eBay. Of course they are. But even eBay had to look at themselves a few years ago when they were changing from the buy it now, from the auction, which drove it to, put it on the map. That was what eBay was, right? Was the auction. But they did data on it. They were taking all kinds of surveys about it, and they realized that people were wanting and they were going to embrace that. Now, the buyers were a little hesitant. They thought it was going to be, maybe they were going to lose some money. They were going to do that. But eventually the sellers were hesitant, and the sellers did not want to lose money by putting a buy it now price on something that could maybe garner more in auction. So they had to come to terms with themselves on what's more important, what the consumer wants or what you're afraid will happen. And that's kind of what always happens. We have to look at what the consumer wants. We have to always be, what is the next one that they're going to? Where are they going now? Are they going to Posh? Right now, I was recently contacted by a site called Pop Sale, I believe it is, Pop Sales or Pop Sell. And it is another app that you do live video for. And I have not done it only because I have so many other things I'm doing right now. I'm doing the auctions, trying to get all of that situated, send out my invoices, and this happens every week and so forth. But I need to do that because what they're doing on there is what I'm doing with my auctions. It's what a lot of people are doing here on YouTube and on Facebook. What has driven the sales of things like LuLaRoe, the paparazzi. I keep talking about paparazzi because I'm very intrigued by this jewelry brand that everyone talks negatively about. Everyone says that the jewelry is not good. It's very, very low quality. It'll last you a month and so forth. But yet it's a $1 billion company, guys, and people are making a lot of money. Granted, it is one of those what do you call it? SLM or MLM, I forget what it's, multi-level sales. But there's money in that, you know. Mary Kay still thrives. Avon still thrives. These are companies that still thrive. But where are they going now? Are they going door to door? Are they having the parties? No, they're going live video on Facebook. This other site, again, it's called Pop Sale. I, again, was approached by them, but I didn't take advantage of their free platform. I still have it. I just haven't started doing it. But they sent me the link to do it free, because I don't know all the details. But as soon as I do, I will let you know about it, because I think it's revolutionary. I really, really do, because people are already doing it. People are already doing it here on Facebook. Yet they're going to have some kind of exposure as well. And if you're comfortable with the video camera, and if you have an idea of, you know, the verbiage to use, if you have any experience in retail where you are face to face with a salesperson, and I did that for a long time, and I know the psychology of sales. I know you approach someone and, you know, say hello, and you get eye contact, and you try to hand them the product, you get them to touch the product. All of that is part of it. It's a little bit more virtual, of course, because you're going to be in a video, but why not do that? Why not embrace some of these new things? Again, Makeup Zombie is now on. I called it wrong the other day when we were talking about it on my Facebook auction. I called it Spotify, but it's Shopify. And they have credited Shopify for making the first million or so, first 10 million, whatever it is she made with the Kylie Cosmetics. She actually sold on that platform. And so why not us small fry go up there and try it as well? Why don't we try a few items of our best items, photograph them, and look into it? You know, it may be an investment, but like they say, you have to spend money to make money. You really do, whether it's in better equipment, a better camera to take those pictures. It's always about change. And if we embrace it, we will ride that ebb and flow. We will ride it and we will rise. Lee Ann has come in. Oh, well, thank you so much, Lee Ann. I'm so glad you're here. Kathy Yarnell came in as well, and Mary. I really appreciate you guys showing up on a Sunday today. I really, really love seeing you guys here. I hope you're getting something out of these series chats and the A-Listers show. It's not something I'm going to probably do for, you know, a long time, especially not the series chats, because I'm doing those during the summer that I have flexible hours. I'm here. And of course, I have to work according to my guests' hours, which are very confusing to do sometimes, because I'm in Central Time, Kelly's in Eastern Time, I think. And then my last guest was in California time. So we have to work all those kinks out. But I think it's worth it, because I really like for you to get to know what other people do. And someone as young as Perla, as old as me, we can all see some potential in what we do, and we all see it differently, but I think we can all learn from each other. I've told you many, many times that I have learned from the youngest of teachers to the oldest of teachers, and I have disdained many teachers and their advice, whether they're young or old. It doesn't matter. It's a matter of what they have done, their life experience, their perspective as to how they see things. We need to listen, and we need to learn, take a little bit of everyone's experiences, advice, and so forth, because I think we can all have, you know, sort of a nice fruit salad of what we can pick and choose and take with us to our selling platforms. Last 2 weeks ago, I told you that I had seen I had already had the title for the video, and I forgot about it right now, because I was going to entitle this video "Smells Like Productivity." And I saw that on the back of this beautiful bar of soap that very overpriced and all of that at this store. But it was about going back to basics, basically, is what the brand's gist of the brand is. It's what pretty much their image is, right? And it'll say a little quip in the back about men don't need fancy soaps, or they don't need perfumes, they don't need this, they don't need all the, it's just smells like productivity. So it's a little very, very simple scent for a manly smell, right? But I thought that was an awesome phrase, because that's basically what we have to do every single day, guys. Every single day, we have to just get up and say, what am I going to do productive today? Whether that is photography, whether that is taking down all your listings and starting from scratch, whether that is what I did today, which was not go to the Goodwill, because again, I've told you a million times, I have so many things I still need to list. I have things I need to tweak. I have things I need to completely pull down, reduce those prices, sell them because they will sell rather because I did reduce that price. That's what I did on Posh recently. I went and just took $2-3 off. I took a couple of different pictures. I even actually raised a couple of prices. I had maybe I got inspired with what I saw from Perla's Precious and her glassware, but I redid some glass that I had on eBay, and it's been there. It had actually sold once before, but I hadn't thought it through, and I hadn't charged enough for the shipping. So I had to cancel the sale. It was not going to work out for either one of us. But I went ahead and relisted it. I didn't go that much higher on the shipping, but I made it look a little bit more enticing, and it sold. And it was some Christmas cups. So all of these kinds of things will help you, but you have to get up with the attitude of, what am I going to do? What's going to smell like productivity to me today? Otherwise, we'll just roll back in that bed. Like I said, we'll roll back in that bed. We will wait for something else to happen, wait for someone else to say, oh, yeah, I agree with you. Sales are horrible. Or no, this is not working. Or I'm trying this one out because I don't like this one. And, everything is too hard on Posh. I can't share. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yeah, but what else are you going to do? If this one didn't work for you, what else are you going to do? I'm going to try that pop sale. I really am. I hope that you have tried it. Or if you have, let us know in the chat. What kind of video sales have you done? Have you tried that? Do you think it's the way of the future? Do you think it's something that you could do? And even putting video on your listings, I know that a lot of people have talked about doing that on eBay with some of their toys and things that are mechanical and move. I know there's a certain software you have to have, or a certain way that you have to list those, but that can be done as well. And those do help. They really, really do help when you have that. What I do, which I don't really know how to do that on eBay, but I will turn on, like if I'm selling a telephone, I will turn it on. I want people to see how it is, that it's working, that it does turn on, or that it does this or that. Because I don't want, people guessing. I don't want them to keep moving and wondering, oh, well, is it working? What part doesn't work? So all of those extra pictures help, whether it's a video that you can do if you know how to do that. But if you can't, be sure and take a picture of your item that way. If it is something that they can see, if it's something that lights up, make sure it's something they can see. Even if it's a piece of jewelry. For example, I was wearing amber. Take a picture of that amber with the sun shining through it so they can see the glow, so you can entice people with those kinds of pictures. Don't be afraid of criticism and of your own criticism. Criticize yourself. Learn to look at your things and say, those are lousy pictures. I should do them again. Why should I leave them up there and just hope for another 6 months that, someone's going to appreciate them? They may not. They may keep looking for something that looks better. The other day, everyone says, oh, don't clean the silver, don't clean, whatever. That's a different school of thought for everyone. I feel that way about vintage items. If I'm holding something that I think is from the 20s, I'm not going to touch it. Of course not. But if I have a pair of earrings like I had yesterday and I sold them in my auction, I think I sold them because I shined them up. Because I felt that hoop earrings will sparkle. You try them on, they're sparkling, they're beautiful. They were dark. They were dark and they were not attractive. Just because someone once said that all silver cannot be cleaned doesn't mean that is gospel truth. You have got to take into account what you're trying to present, what you know about jewelry. Trust your own knowledge about jewelry. Trust what your own knowledge about it as a consumer. I keep saying, hearkening back, think like a consumer as well. I remember telling a coworker once that they don't call the tarnish, because he was a jeweler as well. He sold, I think, for Jared, and for Jared Jewelers, and he was a assistant teacher. And I said, oh, they don't call that tarnish. They call it patina. And he said, I call it yuck. I don't like patina on silver. And, you know, Jared is mostly gold, but still. Oh, and I remember one of my aunts who loved jewelry. She was an absolute jewelry freak like me. And she couldn't stand silver. She just, I just never liked silver. I love gold, you know, and everyone has different tastes. So you have to present your items to that bigger group. Stop looking at it through blinders of what somebody told you or what you heard one day, and realize there are tons of different consumers. Someone likes gold, someone likes shiny silver, someone only leaves the tarnish on vintage items to detect or to try to decipher the age of that item. That's the whole point of the patina as a salesperson, and that's kind of what people have been hearkening back to. And I like the patina on, like, I think I've talked to you guys about my charm bracelet. I'm not wearing it now, but I have these 3D charm bracelets. I have some that have a lot of detail on them. I don't want the patina washed off of it. And I tell them whenever I add a new charm or whenever I take it in for a repair, don't clean it. But that's already mine. But I don't know if that person that I want to sell it to feels that way, especially about something that's a hoop earring, contemporary piece. Yeah, I polished it. Yeah, it's sold. It sold for more than what I thought it would sell. And I think if we continue to criticize our own selves, accept criticism. If someone tells you, you know, that doesn't look right, or maybe you should turn the angle of your phone this way. If you're doing videography as well for yourselves and you're still putting it vertical, and someone has told you 10 times, you would do better if you turned your video the other way. You know, you could see a bigger picture, and you just continually say, no, it's my way or no way. You know, I don't want to bother. Okay, then don't be having a pity party next month when you didn't meet your sales goals. What do you guys think about that? Do you criticize your own self? I know I do. That's the way I have to do it. I have to relook at everything I'm doing, relook at my inventory, relook at the consumer I want to find, what kind of a consumer I'm looking for every time I go to source. Every time when I go and look at my platforms, I go and look at my checking account. And I'm looking, have things improved for me? I'm spending this much time doing this. I'm spending this much time doing that. Have I seen an increase in my income? Or am I constantly just rebuying things that are holding my money? They're holding my money until it moves at a profit. I don't just want to get my money back. I want to make a profit on what I buy, but I have to be critical. I just have to. I'm going to get rid of so many things in my garage. I'm getting rid of them by selling them at $5 a piece, where I originally even had offers at $25. But I was stubborn, and I thought, well, it has a tag and it's very trendy right now, and someone's going to buy it and here it is. A year later, nobody has bought it. And I don't even think they've bought it at $5, guys. I think I have it at $8. Honestly, it's just ridiculous how we are so set in our ways. Let me see if anybody's talking to me here in the chat. I'm glad you guys are talking amongst yourselves as well. I love that. I did see Suze, who is Fairy Vixen out there. Thank you so much for being here. I really love her channel, guys. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Vanessa has a channel too, and she has wonderful pop-up sales. And she's one I've actually taken. I've taken a lesson from Vanessa too, guys, and that is her taste in jewelry, and the items that she's bringing to us. She puts them on eBay and Etsy and everywhere too, so she knows her stuff. But she has just like a I don't know, kind of a radar sense of what people are looking for, what people like. You really you don't go through a lot of what is it, swipe left or right, whatever. You don't go through a lot of that with what she offers in her stores and here on YouTube. And I've been looking at that. I've been taking lessons from that. as to what I'm picking up in jewelry. I've told you before, I didn't used to like these beaded jewelry, these beaded items. It was all about silver metal for me. When I started watching people like Makeup Zombie and others here on YouTube that really embrace the natural, the pearls, the abalone, the rose quartz. I believe it was Vanessa who loves rose quartz and pearls. I started gravitating towards that for myself and for listing, and they have sold. So again, if it's only what you think you're the only one that likes this, so everybody else has to like it too, stop doing that to yourself. You're really, really holding yourself back. Keep learning from others, of course, but don't take everything that they do as something that you have to do. Think for yourself. Just because they say that this is the product that has to sell at this price, this type of jewelry can only sell at this price. Well, sometimes if you lower it by $5, you're the one who's going to make that sale. And that's the absolute truth. It doesn't mean you have to sit and criticize the other person and say they're overpricing their items, they're doing this or they're doing that. Stop looking outward for criticism and start looking inward. That's a hard thing to do for a lot of people, me included. And I've relayed my story to you about coming to teaching late in life. It's my second career. And within a year or two, I learned that a professional person, professional teacher, does not give an excuse for the criticism. They receive it better when you say, thank you for that. I will work on that. I really appreciate you telling me that. I had noticed that, or something, because not only do you come off more professional, but you will improve. You will use that criticism for your benefit. And I feel that's the same way here in what I'm trying to do here in this platform, in this YouTube community that I think we've established together. And I continue to try to come into other communities. I don't just want to be in the jewelry community. I didn't start in the jewelry community. I started in the thrifting community. I started in the sharing community. I just wanted to show you my hauls. I wanted to show you what I found. I wanted to take you in the kitchen and show you something that I made that day. I wanted to take you to the thrift stores I go to. But in this jewelry community that has been growing, and wonderfully so, there's a wealth of information here. But if you take it personally, and that's what I was saying earlier about Perla, that she didn't take it personal. It was her jewelry that she was actually making. It was very personal. She was making that creation, and it was received well by some and not received that well on Etsy. But did she sit and have a pity party? No, she told us in my chat that she's always thinking of ideas. She's always thinking of how can I get better. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Vanessa. Please do that with the Sharif. Vanessa's going to be showing the Sharif bags that were the it bags. We've been talking a lot about that. That's another really good seller for those of you who sell bags. And I've been begging her to bring them out because I love them, and I've been reselling them too, and buying them and reselling them. And it's not because I don't like them, believe me, but I'm just fickle that way. I like having new bags and finding new ones. It's the thrill of the hunt for my own personal consumption as well. But yeah, I really was taken by the things that a young 33-year-old girl told us in that summer chat. And if you haven't watched it, I will link it in a card or somewhere here. You must watch those. People are offering wonderful tidbits, wonderful nuggets of their thinking. And again, this is a digital age person, and embrace the digital age, but still in vintage items that not everybody likes, right? We've talked about how many young people don't want grandma's glasses, don't want grandma's stemware or any of that. And she finds it, she likes it, she hunts it. People call her and tell her, hey, do you want my grandmother's glasses? And she's finding a consumer on Etsy. She's finding and I even went and looked at some of her feedback. And it was amazing. And it is what happens on Etsy. There's a real big community when you start finding someone who's selling you something that you've been collecting. One of them was something about, oh, they're now part of the family. And people are so into that. They really, really are. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Kathleen. Kathleen got one of my Cherise and she loves it. I'm so happy about that. And so that's just what I wanted to talk to you about today, guys, was that don't be afraid of change. If you're not comfortable on tech, get to know it. Get to know it. My sister was here earlier and I was telling her to watch this channel. She doesn't watch YouTube as much as we do. But I was telling her about this certain channel that I liked, and I wanted her to see Perla's interview because I was very taken by her attitude. And she said, how do I subscribe? I said, right here, you just push subscribe. She put her head down. She started laughing. She said, I cannot believe I didn't even see where it said subscribe in red. You had to show me. And I said, don't feel bad. I do that too. I do it at work. I have the tendency to read the emails in a like a scatter type of way, or in an L shape, an upside down L shape, and I'll miss the main page where they told me that I should have sent the email to 10 people and I should have had a meeting the other day, and da 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 da. So we all do that, right? But we do have to take the time. That's what I did at my job to be a more productive teacher. I realized that it's not just about the classroom. As much as I wish it was, as much as I wish it was just about the kids in the classroom, if I don't present my data to the government, which it goes to the state, it goes to my principal, it goes to my head of my department. If I don't present it in data, it doesn't happen. It does not happen. So I was forced to sit in my computer, learn the software, relearn it, make a mistake, send it wrong. And that's what we have to do as well here in our enterprise that we have taken, that we have embraced this enterprise. It's a wonderful enterprise. It is us. It is no longer the future. It is the present. This digital age is the present, and it will just get bigger and easier for some, complicated because we look at it as complicated. But when we take off the blinder of I can't, I don't, I won't, I don't have time, we can sit and we can learn how to do something like a pop-up sale video. And I'm going to do it. I have to do it by the end of July. I really, really do. They contacted me. They said, we really like your videos. We think you'd be great to try this out. We're going to give you a month to do it. And that's what I'm going to do. I just have to. I've been on Facebook for about 2-3 months. I've had a lot of fun over there with my Facebook auction. I don't want to sell here on YouTube. I've always talked about that. It's just not what I want to do on this channel. I like doing it in a private page, and it's fun, and I think we have a community over there. But all of the skills that I've ever learned from doing eBay, from selling directly to people, I sold shoes, I sold clothing, I sold fashion, I sold perfumes, and all of that. I've done it all. And I sell myself every time I walk into a classroom as well. I have to sell myself to that child, or he's going to block me. He's going to send me out the door, and they do it quick. So believe me, it's all about selling yourself. And so I hope you took away a couple of nuggets today about that, guys, about getting up early, smelling that productivity. Like that soap said, it hit me. I said, that's an awesome quip there. I've got to run with that. It's so true. It is so true. Productivity is how you make it, how you make your day, how you start it. So I'm going to see you over probably at Makeup Zombies in a little while. She does a live haul there. Jewelry showcase sale. It is a buy it now type of sale. It's wonderful. We have fun there. Join us if you want. Be sure and read the description box. It's important that you do so. Come back here next Sunday. Of course, I'm going to do probably a jewelry jar tomorrow. I do have a couple here. And I have some thrift hauls. My daughter and I went thrifting. We found some wonderful things. She's a total fashionista. She's like the only one of my 3 daughters that really embrace fashion. So we found her some cute things, and I want you to see those, as well as some things I'm going to put on eBay. Because I told you I don't sell every, Old Navy shirt, but I am picking and choosing what I want to put in my eBay store to attract that consumer. And again, eBay, my consumers for those particular products are there, and that's where I'm going. But I'm not going to leave behind the new digital age that is here. I'm going to embrace it. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate it. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.